Prva prezentacija kojom ćemo otvoriti konferenciju je srpski sektor voća i povrća, tržišni i izvozni rezultati 2023. godine.
Presentation, Serbian fruit and vegetable sector, market export performance in 2023 and market perspective in 2024. Aleksandar Pavlovic, director of the Big Small Business USAID project. Aleksandar, you have the floor. Good afternoon. This has become a kind of tradition. Every program begins with presentations regarding the developments in the past couple of years, what we can expect in the nearest future. Since we have a lot of excellent speakers, presentations will take about 15 or 20 minutes, so we will try to focus on the most important details relevant for the vegetable and fruit producers. 2023 was a very interesting year. We can't call it a difficult, but certainly it wasn't as successful as 2022. Because the growth dropped down by 200 millions in exports. As you can see, it plays an important role in Serbian exports. But in 2023, our export rate was 16%. In our fruit and vegetable sectors, this really affected us. So the loss in this sector is about 100 millions. And unfortunately, the large part of this loss is in the fruit sectors. That's why we will focus on fruit production sector, also covering partly vegetable production sector. We will mention a couple of crops, and later on you will be able to hear more presentations, which will go into a bit more details. Apple production sector, which is very interesting in the past couple of years, but this year we can see that the export is about a bit over 80 millions, which we are not used to, and also 13,000 tons of export, which is we are not used to, and the prices remained at the level of 0.73 up to 0.75. Why apple creates a kind of problem? This export was over 100 million last year, so we lost only on the apple export 20 millions. Russian market recorded a loss of 60 millions. When we speak about the tons, the quantities of export, which should concern us, we used to export about 56 tons, but in 2023 it came to 100 tons. So the good fruit producers who invested in new varieties, new technologies, managed somehow to surmount these problems, but the others really face with serious problems. Regarding the prices on the markets are pretty good, but the biggest problem is that our key market, unfortunately, has reduced dramatically. In the past 5 years, we lost almost a half of our apple markets in Russia, both in terms of quality and quantity, and speaking about the prices. But to find a replacement for this market is not an easy job at all. The Saudi Arabia market has been expanding in the past 2 years, especially diversification of markets. Middle East also is interesting, but the quantity of exported goods is small. So the diversification of markets is a problem number one for the apple export issue. A similar situation when we speak about apples is in the sector of pit fruits. We lost about Also, the prices didn't go down, but the quantity of exported goods dropped. In the past 5 years, the value of export is between 40 millions and 50 millions. We are at the lower level of this spectrum this year, but unfortunately, the quantity of exported goods in 2023 is dramatically smaller than 5 years ago. We used to export 42,000 tons. What the reason is will be at a focus of our discussion today in panel, whether it is the price of our stuff, of our goods exported to far markets. These are the prices. You can see that they are almost at the same level. Some of them are increasing. But again, I have to mention the Russian market, which was a main destination for the stone fruit. Our 60% of shares dropped down to 40-something shares. The reason is the war, as we all know, and the value of stone fruit and the transportation, export, change, inspection are tougher. You can hear many of these problems in everyday news from this market, so we know the reasons. But a bit more optimistic news are in the sector of blackberries. It's been expanding. Blueberries, it's been expanding. Sorry, blueberries. It was a difficult year, but we reached our maximum over 33 millions. And the quantity, the tons, also reached the records, and the prices reached the record year. It remained the same. Speaking about export, this year 33 millions exported, which continued growing in blueberry export. In 2023, the Netherlands also became one of the main export markets for us. Speaking about quantity of tons, we exported 5,000 tons in 2022 and reached 6,000 tons in 2023. Although the export of fruits to these markets generally dropped down. But the final prices haven't changed. The same producers continue to export. Now, as I mentioned, the Netherlands replaced, to a certain extent, Russian markets. So the main topic is this one regarding the 2023 and 2023. But speaking about the quantity of goods exported to Russia significantly dropped down. We will see what will happen in the following year. Now let me go back to one sector which probably most interests you, which was the most problematic in 2023, is the sector of frozen raspberries. We will hear more details in the next presentation, so I won't take much of your time. But basically, the frozen raspberry sector was an absolute superstar in 2021 and 2022 because of the COVID pandemic, our orientation toward healthy lifestyle and healthy nutrition. So we really experienced a total boom, and the record was reached in the end of 2022, but 2021 was also interesting because a huge quantity of goods exported. You can imagine the prices per kilo of that good. It was also an introduction into a massive purchase in 2023 when the market simply collapsed. We'll also talk more about that. Our small coolers got stuck full of stuff which is very expensive. And this year, export in 2023 2023 wasn't so bad. It was 360 millions compared to the COVID period. We can say that it's rather come back to reality than the loss of market. So it is still pretty good. But the problem is that the number of tons exported remained 88,000, which was always over 100,000. What the reason is, we'll see in the next presentation, but the main problem in 2023 is not the only high purchase price, but also the significant drop of prices in a global market. Simply, it was like a perfect storm, the drop of purchasing power all over Europe. Ukrainian products got a priority on the market, so our stuff with these prices didn't have much chance. So I won't go into details. As I said, we'll hear more in the next presentation. But the leading sectors are the fruit sectors, where we recorded these losses. As you can see, the ongoing war really significantly affected or impacted the situation in our country and exports. But regarding the vegetable sector, the situation is a bit more stable, and it hasn't changed in the past years, especially fresh vegetable sector, which almost reached 140 millions. Diversification of market is really great, and we are not at risk on the dependence of market, like, for example, in speaking about the fruit sectors and Russian markets. So in fruit sectors, the situation is a bit better. But speaking about other categories, the vegetable export, apart from frozen vegetables, is in a good situation. But there are many, many reasons. Not only the war in Ukraine and the prices on the goods and markets, but the frozen vegetable sector has been expanding, and also there are some elements which grow radically, especially frozen pickled sectors, and pickled stuff already packed and prepared in Serbia now are exported to EU markets. And we see this growth in the past 5 years. It's a very good segment which is growing more quickly. These figures will not dramatically affect our export, but from 2 millions we reached almost 10 millions, which is pretty good result. We can also speak about other products. Chips was excellent export article or stuff in Serbia. Despite the problems we had with potatoes, we exported almost 40 millions to SEFTA market, especially to B&H. French fries or our chips products are at high demand. It has a great potential and is drastically expanding. I don't have much time, so I will bring my presentation to an end. My other colleagues will go into deeper details, so we'll hear all these figures more precisely, and I'm here available for all your questions. I wish you a good day. Thank you.